Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Let's see if we've got this going. Um, y'all come on in. Come into the studio. Let me know you're here. I would love to say hey to you. Let's see if I can see it and keep this cough calm down. All right, y'all hang on just a second. Okay, I see we're on here. Hello, hello. All right, let me get us shared over to our group. Tell me how you're doing today. How are you spending your Friday? For some reason, I was thinking that it was Tuesday, but it's Friday. So, how are you spending your day? How's your weather? It's beautiful here. Beautiful here. Awesome, Sherry. Thank you for letting me know that the YouTube is working. Awesome. All right. I think I got us sent over there. I really like when things are alphabetical. They're not alphabetical, so it throws me off. Okay, I think I've got everybody shared. Hey, Bobby from Snowy Land in Pennsylvania. I bet it's beautiful. I bet it's beautiful. It's warmed up a good bit today here. It was in the 30s this morning, but it's warmed up. So, and the sun's shining. So that always helps, doesn't it? All right. Well, I have lots to tell y'all. Record-breaking highs in Las Vegas, 74. Wow. Wow. I think we're supposed to get highs next week in the 60s and then, cold in the morning. Northern Virginia. Hey, Karen, how was your trip? Did you have a wonderful time? I'm sure you did. I love seeing that picture of you and your mom on the, wasn't it on a cruise ship? Yeah, pretty sure I saw that. Hey, Diane, good to see you. Supposed to get to 70 today in Texas. Okay. Well, I consider Texas the South, and our weather is like a roller coaster, isn't it, Sherry? It's like up and down, up and down, up and down. And I was trying to clean out my closet and thought, I really hate to put this short sleeve shirt away because I'm probably going to need it. So I kept things out that anything that could be layered, I kept it so I could get to it. Hey, Cindy, welcome. Glad to see you. We had whatnot last night, and I am still dragging. It was fun though. For those who thank y'all. I know Diane was there. Bobby, we it it's different than anything else I've done, but it's helpful in that these are most of everything is things that are not on our website, and I can hold it up and people can bid on it, and then we ship it out. So Brandy's down there working on that now. It just is saving a lot of time for us on our end because it's time consuming to get products on the website, and especially if it's just one or two or something. So it's been a lot of fun to learn how to do it, and it seems like the past 2 times I've done it, I've had tech problems. So, that it is what it is. Well, we'll do another one next week, Sherry. So what we've decided, is so that's a good entry point. So we have our BOGO this week, and we always do it like this at this week in the December as an incentive to help you go ahead, get your orders in. If you need it for Christmas, go ahead and get it in. And we usually try, and so like the post office, their cutoff is the 17th. And so we always bump ours back. So Monday, if you feel like you need something for Christmas, it's so much safer to go ahead and get your order in because the post office they're just overworked. It's just a mess. But Yeah. So that's why we do our BOGO this week. And so if you've not shopped it, y'all, it's note cards. And even if you are not one to send note cards in the mail, you can actually use these in your journal making, or you can frame them. But it's note cards, shirts. I sold all of the 2XLs last night on Whatnot, so we were scrambling trying to get that updated on the website, but we have some of all the other sizes. Journals, we're getting low on journals. We're almost out of journals. Let's see, shareables. You can get shareables, buy one, get one free. So it's a great opportunity to shop and stock up. And a lot of those designs we won't be carrying anymore. So like once we sell out of them, we won't have them. So it's a great time to stock up. The other thing, because I was talking about it's kind of time consuming, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you um, that I just added a new product to the website. Uh, and this was on my list. Let me see if I can find it. I've got it over here somewhere. So earlier in the year, one of my goals was to do more coloring books. I only got one totally completed. But I wanted to do the Home for Christmas designs in the form of a coloring book, and I got all the artwork laid out, but we just could not get to getting it bound, like with the binding. So I just kept thinking about it, and I thought, I'm just going to do the coloring sheets. So that's what I did. That's what I did. And there's 12 pages of them. I showed them to the ladies last night, and I have them on the website now. So I made them so that they are 6 inches wide by 9 inches tall. They're not in a spiral bound. It's in a sheet form, but these would be fun to do at Christmas with family, pass them around, let everybody get a sheet, or do it yourself. If you took part in the Home for Christmas, these are the same designs. I've just sized them to fit on here. And one of the ladies last night was telling me that she was going to use them for making note cards. She makes cards. So, here it is. So the first, let's see, there's the fireplace. Here's the truck. There's the tree. May the little stockings, may the love of Christmas warm your heart and home. The way I had it laid out, there was going to be extra pages in there to make it a journal. There's the window. Here's the house. And there's the little title of that. And then I also did the little, so this is the home, and then this is the little downtown buildings. So this is the church, and the little general store, the toy store, the sweet shop, and the hardware store. So if you are in Creative Hearts, you have access to these as a long piece. And I really didn't think I would be able to get it done, but I was able to pull it together. So this is what it looks like in the long piece that we're doing in Creative Hearts Studio. And these are just the individual small pieces. There is Sherry, and it's the papers. I've got it pulled up right here. Let me grab it for you. So the kit is where we print out the design, the downtown, onto the watercolor paper for you. And it's 10 by, I think it's 10 by 15. And then it includes the wood board. We've got the wood board in there. So this is how it goes, like that. And we also put some bling. Are they the same size as the long piece? That's a good question. I think they might be a little bit wider. Let me measure them though for you, Diane. Oh, the watercolor dots. You use the same watercolor dots as Welcome Home because I wanted it all to match. I wanted this to coordinate with the little home, the Welcome Home. So I used the same watercolor dots. And if you need more of those, they're in the website. Sorry, I didn't understand. Let me see, Diane, and I'll tell you. And I'm sorry I couldn't get these done earlier for y'all. We're at the point of just trying to finish what we can. All right, let's see. These are, the Sweet Shop is 3 inches wide. So it's a little bit wider than the consolidated one. And I really, you probably could use these and piece them onto your board or whatever you chose to put it on, Diane. Okay, so this one is almost 3 inches wide. Having trouble with your internet. Deborah, I have had so much trouble with mine lately. I wonder if it's because so many people are on there. So they're a little bit wider is what it looks like, y'all. A little bit wider. I wanted to make them so that it fills up most of this page, but doesn't distort it. And because they're kind of tall, that's as much as I could size it. I understand. I understand. So let's talk about that because I'm in a similar place. Hey, April. So, y'all, Sherry said I have so many different projects going. I can't get some done till after Christmas. I have a project from Thanksgiving that I didn't get finished. Yeah. I think that's a great idea. So, what you said, Diane. So, I want to give you this encouragement because it's like that here as well because you just have to do what you can do. You just have to do what you can do. And be okay with it. And one of my friends had said that to me because I was so disappointed about that I didn't get this completed. And she's like, well, you'll have it for next year. It's like, but I wanted to do it for this year. I kept thinking I would do it for this year. So that's why I went ahead and I just did, I just made them color sheets. It's not the way I originally wanted it, but it still works, y'all. It still works. So, hey, Avery, I'm glad to see you. I just put the cards in here. Okay, yeah, I see it now. So these are little coloring sheets. They're 6 inches by 9 inches. There's 12 of them. And we also have the watercolor dots as a separate purchase, just because I know a lot of you already have those dots, but it's the same dots that we used for Home for Christmas. This cough just does not want to go away. I thought I had it pulled up, but I don't. Let's see, y'all. I'm going to try and get it all right here in the same spot. So if you give me just a moment, I'm going to grab it for you. So, and then I'll just recap it so that it's not confusing. And then I wanted to spend a little bit of time in our journal. So you would go to the website under Creative Supplies, and we have a listing that says Home for Christmas optional tools. And that's where it's got like a drop down, and you can choose if you want to get the dots, the watercolor dots. We're right there with you, April. These are printed on watercolor paper. We went ahead and printed these on watercolor paper. So this, Bobby, is watercolor paper, and the big town is also watercolor paper. And I don't remember the weight. I know you get it. I know you do. But we just do what we can. We do what we can. And this is something that's been helping me is, Lord, you see all these things. You see all of these things. Where do I need to focus my attention? You know what's going to matter. You know what's going to make a difference. And if you are creative, and every single one of y'all are creative, you are always going to have more ideas than you can do. Which can be overwhelming, but it's a gift at the same time. And so I really do want to encourage you to get a sketchbook, get a notebook, and put your ideas in it. And it is so precious when you run back across that notebook. This is one, this is an example. This is a notebook I've had for forever, long time. And I did a retreat at our church, and this was probably the first. I wished I knew what year it was, but I don't know what year this was. But it was probably, I don't know, 10 years ago, more than that I did this retreat. And it was the first time I really ever started incorporating my art into teaching. And I found this the other day. And I thought, Lord, you've been building these ideas in my heart for a long time. See how I was sketching all of this out, and I was showing them how they could color it. And we were, I was using it as a guide for teaching. And he has gradually opened the door for me to do this. This is a really good one. Let me show y'all this one. This is the heart. And I was showing how when you go to the doctor, you know how you have to do a health history and what, and then they also want to know your weight. It's like, why do you have to know that? And so this was the health history for the body. And what symptoms are you having today, Miss Coxwell? How long has that been bothering you? When did it start? And all of that. This side is a health history for the heart. And I compared it to the car and how you can look down and you're out of gas. No wonder your car's not working. You let your car run out of gas, or it's out of oil, or the tire is flat. That's why it's not working. You've got issues with the car. So we have the same thing with ourselves spiritually. We can use some of those same analogies spiritually. And running across this, it's like you've been stirring this in my heart for a very long time. And I'm so thankful that I saved this. Look at this one. It says use color, pencils, highlighters, paint, even crayons. It's a great way to make specific words or themes really stand out. That was a long time ago I did that. So the gifts, the ideas, and I didn't intend to talk about this, but think about it. Sandy said what Sandy said. I've got 28 hobbies. It's a gift. It's all in how we look at it. It's a gift. So he has gifted you with a creative brain, and you will always have more ideas, more projects than you can finish. But keep taking the next step through. And I'm saying this to myself, keep taking the next step, and don't let perfectionism keep you from moving forward. So just like these, I didn't do anything with these because I didn't have it perfect like I thought. I originally envisioned it to have spiral bound like a coloring book, and I just could not get to it. And So it's like, go with what you have, that somebody will want to use this. Go with what you have. So that's what I did. And I got it put together. He helped me put it together. And if he had not, it wouldn't be this, and I wouldn't be telling you about it. So I just want to encourage you. Your creativity is a gift. It can also trip you up, but remember, it's a gift. It's a gift. So go back to the giver of the gift. How do you want me to use this? How do you want me to focus right now? Show me what steps can I take right now? What would make the biggest impact? What steps can I take right now to help me calm down, or to help me get focused in on you? What's your plan for me for today, Lord? What's your plan for me? How do you want to work through my hands today? And it just will help you, because otherwise, Patty Perfectionist, she is going to be cracking the whip of, look at this mess you have all around you and you don't finish anything and blah, 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 blah. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to that. Do what you can. Finish what you can. And I promise you, just like this. And if you are around me very long, you know I'm constantly having technical difficulties. But when he puts his hand on something, it's going to work. It's just going to work. And he gets the credit that all this, I did the work, I got it together, but it was not formatted. And that was the tech part that requires some brain space, but he made it work. And so it even printed without having tech difficulties. We have so many issues with our printer, but it worked. It did not jam. I went over there, I cut them, they were sized just right. It's like, thank you, Lord, you did this. You did this. I didn't do it. You did it. So my advice to you is get a journal, get a notebook, and with all of these ideas you have, write them down. You think you're going to remember, but you probably won't. If you have it in a notebook, then periodically you can go back through your notebook, and you just choose something. Then it's like, what do you want to work on today? Just choose something from all your idea books. Yeah, Pam Sims. Yes, my head gets overwhelmed sometimes because I see so many things I'd like to do. Yeah, me too. Me too. I've got, write down your goals also, April. That's right. It does help to keep Jesus in the center. Always take time and acknowledge him. Yeah. And remember, he is the giver of your gift of creativity. He gave it to you for a reason. He gave it to you for a reason. And you might sit on that reason for a little while, or that idea might be birthed years before, it might be planted years before it is birthed. It might be like that one. Years ago, I was doing that retreat at my church, and Destiny might have been there. I saw Destiny's name. She might have been there too. So, so just to recap, we have this available in the website as a kit. This is already printed out for you. You paint it, and I'm using the same paint dots as Home for Christmas. It's the one that's the big page of paint dots. I was able to get these printed. They're 12 pages. They're 6 inches wide by 9 inches tall. The buildings in here are a little bit larger than the ones on Downtown Christmas, but if you wanted to use these instead of doing the big one and build it out on your board, that would work too. It's just another resource, another tool that you can use. And then today, and I also made up this little sheet so that it's a reference page. Because because some people might get this and didn't do the other ornaments and things. It's just an idea of what mine looked like and how I painted mine, and then it's got a little list of different supplies you could use. Okay, so I can move that out of my way. And this is what the big sheet looks like of the paint dots. This is the one I'm talking about. Lots of colors on it. Lots of colors. Yes. Bobby, I'm going to read yours out loud. Oh, that's Chris. Chris said this. Okay. Boy, I needed to hear this right now. Thanks, Pam. He truly knows what he wants me to do. He works order to the chaos. He truly does. I'm walking through a Christmas devotional with today's Look Upon the Light. Everything changes when we fix our gazes on him because the light changes our perspective. Yes. He's leading my day and what's on his agenda for my creations. Yes, I love the way you worded that. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so what I wanted to do today, Tuesday, if you missed Tuesdays, lettering at lunch, I took time and instead of making this like a week-long workshop, we're stretching it out over the month on making these 25 days of Christmas journals. And we are using, or I'm using, the 25 days of Christmas cards. Yeah. That's for both of y'all. It's for all of us, really. So look at the one I was going to paint. Jehovah is my light and salvation. I love that, Chris. And the true light enlightens everyone. So Tuesday, we talked about how we can use this reading guide. And this is just a reading guide, y'all. This is something that Terry and I came up with. And you could use anything. There's so many different Advent reading guides. There's devotionals and the Bible app. There's lots of things you can use. But the way this one is written up is on week 1, the focus is hope. And so it's got these verses right here. And some of those verses don't even have the word hope, but it was written in a way that read this chapter and where do you hear hope? Because we are awaiting his return. Hey, Marilyn, I was just thinking about you earlier. Then this week we're focused on peace and these verses. So I took some time on Tuesday, lettering at lunch, and gave you an example of how you can use this. Which one did I do? 1 Peter 2, you go in and I read that chapter. I underlined, I circled some things, and I wrote down where I saw hope, or not hope, peace. And it was so sweet because I saw what he has already done and what I'm still waiting for him to do. Like, for example, this one, it says, but you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people belonging to God. And the reason we are like that is because of Jesus, because he is our peace. His sacrifice created was the path. The cross is the path between us and God that connects us with God so that we don't have to be estranged from God, separated from God because of our sin. His atonement made it so that we could be at peace with God, so that we could be a chosen people. And then as you look further down, so that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of the darkness and into his marvelous light. I was called out of the darkness. That's a big deal. So that's just a simple example. And I'll say this again because you're not alone in you've got so many ideas and you want to do them all. Look at what I did with this. I didn't have my other artwork made, but I was reading the verse, that passage, and I didn't want to lose it. So this is my catcher's mitt. So I went ahead and lettered this into my journal. And then I went back and added this page. This is just a book page. And so if I can open it up, I hope I didn't glue that down. It did glue down a little bit. Called out. You were called out of darkness, and that's 1 Peter. So that was the artwork for that verse. So it's okay to do this out of order. Just do what you can. Just do what you can. Kind of like the coloring book. It was supposed to be a coloring book. There's no spirals. Didn't have time to do that. So now it's coloring sheets. So we do what we can. We do what we can. All right. So today, what I wanted to do during our painting time, need to keep up with the time, is I want to show you, because I know I've shown you how to do this with watercolor. I want to show you how you can use gouache with these sheets. All right, and do a comparison kind of thing. Let me move this. I know some of y'all purchase gouache, so I've got two different kinds. I've got that Hemi, and I forgot to move my thing over. Hey, Patricia. I'm glad to see you. Glad to see you in Maryland joining us. All right. I'm just going to give you an example of another way that you can add color to these pages. Okay, so this is the one that did last week with watercolor. I think we used some neo colors in there. So that's the ones we did last week. And this is one that I started Tuesday, I believe, because I was talking about gouache, and I said I'll show you more of that. So absolutely, that's right on time. Andrea, a Holy Family kit. Yes. Let me think a second, y'all. Andrea, are you in Creative Hearts? It was the Holy Family is a workshop and that I taught last year. And so we made it into a bundle this year so that you could purchase the kit, get all the parts and pieces, and get the tutorial. So I know Creative Hearts has it, or it's also with that kit. I feel like you are. Okay, April, we're fixing to get them out, girl, and we're going to use them. Let's use them. Okay, so I've got two different kinds, and I just want to show you. They're beautiful, luscious colors. Where did I put my spray? I just had it. So gouache it really depends on what kind, and this is not a gouache class. This is that Hemi spray. Okay, so you should have access to the tutorial, Andrea. If you will send an email to my assistant at hello@PamCoxwellDesigns, then she can get you the link. You should have gotten it, but I know that there's so many emails going out right now. Like, I hate to even send an email to anybody because I know there's so many businesses sending emails, but we have to keep you up to date on what's happening, but still. So if you'll reach out to her, she can get you connected up with that class. All right. Hello@PamCoxwell. hello@pamcoxwelldesigns.com. I just put it in the comments. All right, so where did I put? So if you don't have gouache, you don't need to go out and buy gouache. This is for those of us who have gouache and we need to use our gouache, okay? So I'm giving you examples of what you could do with your gouache. Gouache is kind of like a hybrid. It's very similar to watercolor, but it's also a lot like acrylic. And I'm looking for my little saucer. I just had it. Doggone it. I'm just going to put it on the back of this. I don't know where I put it. I'm just going to use the back of this as my paint palette. All right, so think about these two words, translucent. Remember, translucent means you can see, if we were in a boat, we were in the water, you can see the bottom of the lake. Hey, Mary Beth. Opaque means you might be able to see a little bit of the lake depending on how opaque the water is, but you're not going to be able to, it's not clear, it's opaque. That's what I think of with gouache. And I want to show you right here. And let me get my paintbrush. So if you don't have gouache, just use what you have. Use your watercolor. You could use your Neocolor paints. You could use your Neocolor crayons. You could use Tombow markers, whatever you have. We can make this more translucent by thinning it down with water. So, oh my goodness, my nose is itching. All right, so I'm just going to pull out some of this light blue right here. And I think I just dipped in two different paint things, but oh well. So this is that Hemi brand, and it's got beautiful colors. I'm going to add a little water to it to thin it down a little bit. And I'm just going to paint. Let me get it a little bit closer for you. Okay, so I'm just going to, this one does not have words on the present, so I really didn't have to water it down very much, but it's a lot like acrylics in that you can thin it down with water, and that'll help it be a little bit more translucent. Or you could just use it right, like, just right out of the container. I'm also going to show you a different brand. I had ordered some ceramic ornaments that I was going to paint, and I was going to do it during Thanksgiving. I think I got 3 of them painted, and that's it. And I still don't have those finished, but it is okay. But with them, you use gouache, and I love the vibrancy. So one of the differences that I think of with gouache is that it's kind of chalky. It has a chalky feel to it. All right, so I'm going to use a red for this ribbon, and I want to show you this gouache. I love that color too, Marilyn. This one is Acryla. It's a Holbein. So Holbein they also offer watercolor paint, but this is their gouache. It's thick like acrylic paint. It is creamy like acrylic paint. It looks like acrylic paint, and it actually dries a lot like acrylic paint. I'm going to turn this upside down so I can get to it easier. If I can get this situated. Oh my goodness. So a lot of illustrators use gouache because it is so vibrant, and it just works well for illustrations like this. And I'm going to see if I can zoom down a little bit just so you can see how opaque this is. You can't see the bottom. This is very opaque. And once this dries, it is dry. I mean, like, it's on there. Whereas if this was watercolor or a watercolor base gouache, it could reactivate, but this one is not. It's acrylic base. I think of this as it's more versatile as far as traveling with it. I guess because it's in the little tubes. Isn't that pretty? All right, so let me see if you can see the lines now. This will help you see how opaque it is. Okay, so you can see the line work, but it's not super dark. So it does have some translucency to it, but not a lot. So if you have gouache that you haven't been using, one thing, I think it was April and I were talking, like this particular brand, it will dry out if you don't have it sealed up really well. So you're going to want to use it. And I took a class for painting those ornaments using gouache because I wanted to learn more about it. And this particular gouache does not reactivate. So you could use this on other surfaces too. So I just added a tiny bit of brown to my red just to get a deeper red to show the inside of that bow. And oh, I bet that is pretty, Esther. I bet it is. You love acrylic gouache. I do too. I think it's beautiful. You never opened your Hemi. Well, did you buy their, they have I don't know where you bought yours, but mine had an upsell for their spray, and I ordered the spray. And so I had read in some of the reviews that if you'll spray it before you close it up at the end of each painting session, it will help them last longer. And I read somebody saying they could even mold. Okay, so that's the gouache. So you can see the line, but it's not as much as if it was watercolor. Okay, so that's an example for that one. And then for this one, this is where it's really going to show. Let me see. Okay, so look at this one. Look at all the line work in here. So the way I'm going to approach this one is I'm going to think about this. I know that I want these vines to be green and to have the little cedar branches there. So I really need to think about the color that's going to be behind here. Let me get something to drink. My throat's... Here's an example. This is, I decided on this one just to do white because I did this one with watercolor. And I didn't want to have to take the time to get right up to those green branches. And if I had painted a dark color, it would not be easy to see the green. So that's an example of how to kind of think through your coloring. Here's another example. This has got the little cedar branch. For this one, I painted right up to it and then filled in that area with the green. So let's try, so I know that I would do the star yellow and my little sheep would be white with a little black face. I would probably do my little shepherd, probably brown and I don't know, some other color, but I know I want that green. So what I could do is use like a pink or one of my pinks in here or a lavender. And oh, you can't see both of those. Let's see. So I think a lavender would look good. And then I would still be able to see my greenery. I could do red, but I'll just have to be careful. So, what do y'all think I should do? Should I do lavender or should I do red? Tell me what you think. You know, Esther, I don't know if there is or not. I think that there is, but I'll type the name in here. Mary Beth said lavender. Okay. Acryla. I'm going to spell it. Acrylic Gouache by Holben. Okay, there it is right there. And just look for the best price, y'all. I was looking at some of those colors, and this brand does cost more than this Hemi, but it is thicker, and it is in the tubes, so you don't have to worry about it drying out. And we're going to do some more stuff with the gouache in the coming year on some other projects. I'm trying to be mindful of that. If we like experiment with something, I want to do more than one thing with it because I don't want you to buy things and then we don't do anything else with it. So we'll do some, I don't have it totally laid out yet for next year, but y'all can definitely give me your requests. But we'll do some more with gouache. We'll do the jelly plate, do a little bit more with that because I know some of y'all bought a jelly plate. I'm going to do some clay, air dry clay. I've been learning that, and we can even use the gouache on the air dry clay. That's a good question, Melinda. Is it the is it in these cups? Is it the Hemi gouache? I love your reasoning. Um, yeah, peace and purple. I think of that as well. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of this darker. Diane, you said acrylic. Is it an acrylic gouache? Is that what you're asking me? This brand is acrylic base and this brand, but they do make gouache that is watercolor base. I'm just going to do a little bit of this. I don't want to do a lot because I don't want to get it too terribly dark. I want it to be soft. Well, soft and peaceful is really, but I don't want it to compete with the green in the vines. That makes me so happy, Bobby. It's fascinating, isn't it? It's just fascinating what you can do with it. And y'all, my youngest daughter does pottery, and she's experimenting with the gel plate with her pottery and the glazes. Okay, it's this brand. I think if I were you, Melinda, and y'all speak up if you know, next year's projects. Yes, absolutely acrylics. Yes. Yeah, we will always do acrylics. Do y'all know if this will reactivate the gouache? I don't know the answer to that. Yeah, was wondering if yes, we will absolutely do those, Diane. And y'all let me know if there's specific things that you want to do. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let my purple dry because I want the green to lay on top of it. So it's not that you weren't saying it correctly. There was a delay. So I'd already started talking about something else. So it's not you, it was me. Alright, so this is that kinda ochre color for the star. Right there. And if y'all look at the Hemi paints, they have different colors that, the cases are different colors, and I think that they do that to let you know what's in those colors. Some of y'all might have more knowledge. Alright, so I added a little bit of white to add some lightness right there. Yeah, I can put that on our list. I sure can. Landscapes. We did, for those who don't know, this past year, we did, what all did we do, Diane? Um, we did an ocean scene. Alright, I'm gonna do the bottom part tan. And I'll do a little bit of red. Thank you, Andrea. I agree with what Andrea said with looking on the YouTube because there's a lot of people who they test them and tell you all kinds of stuff. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of red to his little, hat thing. Not hat, but, you know. And then, I think this might be black. Let's see if that's black. Yeah. I'm gonna do his little I love the little black face sheep. They're so adorable to me. Okay, so I think this is dry enough, and let's see how the green does on top of that. Let's see. Okay. I really need a thinner brush for this, but I'm working with what I have. Yeah, look how well that's laying on top of it. So that's a benefit of, the opacity of this. I got that way too thick. We did flowers, we did pumpkins, ocean. Whoops. So when you do yours, I would recommend a thinner brush. It's a lot easier to manage it. And then you could also do this with a marker. I'll do that. I'll do the little are they branches? What are they? I'm out of words. I think I've met my word quota for the week. My goodness. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, let's see. These are acrylic markers. Let's see what else I have. I guess y'all heard that. That just turned over. Let's try this. I want to see how I want to use different things to see how it works with the gouache. So this is a watercolor pencil, and it is working on top of the gouache, so that's good. April, what colors do you like? I like the golden. I mean, Daniel Smith, but I also like to look at the palette, and recommend getting colors that you like to include in your work. Let me think of the company's name. There's another one that I used to sell them on our website. Does anybody remember the name of them? I don't know if Karen's still here or not. I know she's purchased them from me. But like there's one that's called they're cute names. You like the primary colors. Okay, so that laid on top of that really well, which is good. All right, so let's see about, I might have to get up and get the smaller brush. Or, hang on. Let's use this right here. Hang on just a minute, y'all. Let me reach it. See if I can reach it without turning stuff over. Now, nail colors. Let's see if we could use this for our little shepherd boy. Add a little bit of color there. And I have a gray little neo color that I could do to add a little bit of shading right up under the little lamb. And then I have a white, okay, Prima Marketing. That's interesting, Sherry. Huh, or Sandy. Huh. If I was going to paint gouache on wood, do I have to prepare the wood with something on the surface first and then go over it with a coat of something to protect it after the paint it with the gouache? Art philosophy. That's it. Thank you, Karen. It was like on the tip of my tongue. April, if you'll look up art philosophy, they have a lot of small sets, and I like the way they organize them in that it's like there's a pastel set, there's one called Decadent Pies, like Pies, but they're a good brand also. Andrea, I would I think that I would test it on something first before you seal it. I would look that up, and if I had the ornaments, I would show you. They're inside my house, but it was the bisque ceramic. That means it's not glossy. It was that chalky, and so I painted them with my Holbein gouache, and some of them I sealed with the acrylic Krylon sealer, and it dulled it. It made it look dull. So I would definitely test it to see, and I probably would even research it, because before doing those ornaments, I would have said, sure, I think you could just seal it, but I never really have ever had anything have that effect. So it's made me more cautious I would definitely research it, Andrea. And I think as far as prepping it, I think that if you did some gesso on it, it wouldn't hurt. I would do that too. I would test it. I just learned that the hard way with those ornaments. And it really surprised me. And if I can remember, I'll take a picture and I'll show y'all what I made. I love the color. The gouache looked phenomenal. The colors looked phenomenal on the acrylic, those ornaments. On the, my words are getting tangled up. It looked phenomenal on that bisque, on the ceramic ornaments. And it was just something about when I sprayed it, it really made it dull, very muted. Okay, so I have these little pins. I'm trying to work with what I have. If you're noticing, that's what I'm doing. I'm working with what I can reach. This is this is Paper Mate Ink Joy gel. And I bought a set of these and I really liked them, and 2 of them didn't even work. So I was kind of disappointed in them. And if I'd saved my packaging, I could have taken them back, but I didn't. Because normally when I get something new like that, I tear into it and I'm excited to try it. All right, so now I'm just using a little micron pen to help me see, what else do I need to do? What do I need in this design? Because I still need to add something to it to give it some pop. All right, so this is taking me longer, but I'm talking a good bit. It doesn't take long to do these. Unless you're talking, and then it does. Okay. Y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that I don't have the date set for sure, but if you will, save the you ordered clear ground. Okay, that's good. Save, I think it's the week of January 12th. I've got to get our kickoff week scheduled for the new theme, which is Follow Him. And I'm working on getting some more of those details together, but I wanted to let y'all know that I am working on it. I feel like I want a little bit of gold, like the metallic gold. I thought I had my pen out for that. What do y'all think it needs? I feel like it needs something else. I know, I could put some little red berries. I think that would look pretty on the green, on the greenery. So, this is definitely not the brush for that. Let's do this. You just have to work with what you can reach or what you have handy. And it's good for your creativity to stretch you a little bit. Well, I don't have the exact thing she has, but I do have this, and it's good for our brains, I think. That's what it needed. It needed some more red, and I think I'm going to add a little bit more red to make it deeper on his little hat. So I didn't end up using that one. All right, so for the lettering, what do y'all think? There's that gold pen I was looking for. I think I want to do red down there. That's a good idea. Good. I'm glad you're using it. I'm using mine too. If y'all have not ordered your planner, we do still have some and would love to send you one. I'm going to use one of these. I love this. Let's add some little curly cues. And we have a few calendars left too. Okay, that's looking good. Um, let's do I feel like this little outfit needs to be just a smidgen darker. To darken that just a little bit. And let's do this. Not with that pen. Yeah. All right, let's see. That's too dull. Oh, goodness, y'all, it's after 1 o'clock already. Okay. I gotta wind this up. All right, so just to recap, I like that. That's a shiny, look at that. Good, April. I think you'll enjoy them. I think you'll enjoy them. It's a good basic set, and then that will help you get started and figure out what you like. I think you'll enjoy having that little case. A lot of the ladies, I think, have that set, and then after you start using it, then you may wanna add to your set, add some more. But I think it's a great starter set because it's already paired up with things that coordinate with it. Okay, y'all. So, I could keep working on this, but, we're not trying to get perfection. We're just playing around. But I like that darker, and this was the Tulle. I think that's how you say that word, Tull. And, so let me just close with this because I think this is important. So with your creative supplies, you don't have to have all the things, but the quality of the supplies does affect your results. It does, and it's just a fine line of, adding a higher quality. I know higher quality paintbrushes make a big impact on the results. Higher quality paint makes a big impact. And so one way that you can do it is you can just start adding in the higher quality. So like your base might be painted with some of the cheaper apple barrel paints or vice versa. And then you use some of the higher quality paints to add pops of color or things like that. And then you could have like a running list of the things you want to get. And if you're not on Michael's, the craft store, their website or their rewards, they have really good coupons and you can get reward points every time you buy stuff. And I'll then you can use those rewards towards your purchases, and it helps you get some of the things that maybe you wouldn't be able to buy if it was not on sale. That's an idea too. So just keep that in mind. This paper, this is the illustration paper, Andrea. This is the thicker illustration paper. Yeah, this whole set was printed on the thicker illustration. And before I get off, let's just look because this is dry enough now that I can show you. And then I see a few questions coming in. This is the one I did last week with watercolor paint. This is the one I did this week with gouache. And there I diluted this some. So there is some translucency in there with it, but I don't know if that's enough for you. You can tell the difference in the two. The watercolor paint is gonna kinda make have these cool effects, and gouache doesn't really do that, but, it's still it's your unique its own unique medium, and then this is the gouache. Well, I don't have anything else that's that same color, and this is watercolor, so you can see how it just kinda pulls together, and it has all these different variations in it, and that's something that is unique to watercolor paint. So, alright, so that's how you would do it. Um, what is your favorite acrylic paintbrushes? It's gonna depend on the surface, Diane. If I'm doing I'll show you some. They're pricier, but I think you're painting enough now that I think that you're probably ready for these, and you could put these on your Christmas list. They're called hang on, let me show y'all. Okay. Brushes like this are really smooth and work out really well whenever you're doing layers like with our, gloss medium, and we'll do more projects with that in the coming year. These really help you get nice, smooth layers of translucent layers of color. This is a Royal and Langnickel paintbrush, a jumbo paintbrush, and this is a number 50. This one is a Master's Touch, and it's got that oval. So this is a Hobby Lobby brand, but I usually buy for myself. I buy the individual brushes. A lot of times the ones in sets are a little bit cheaper, but if you can afford it, normally they have them. I know at Michael's they do. They have it like pro. They have them graded like 1, 2, 3 level. If you can afford to get the 2 level, it's going to be a better brush. I don't think Hobby Lobby does that. I think they just have Master's Touch. I'm not positive. This is another Royal Langnickel. I think I got these at Michael's. And watch for the coupons. Watch for the coupons. This is a Master's Touch flat. It's very versatile. Okay, those are more, they're not the hobby grade, they're more the mid level. Okay, then for painting on canvases or wood panels, I learned about these brushes from Melanie Morris. I took some art classes from her, and they're called Silver Brights. We'll see if you can see it. Silver Brights. So there's the word silver. Where's the word bright? I can't even read it, y'all. There's so much paint on here. These are very stiff. And it took me a while to get used to painting with these, but they work really well on those flat panels and on canvas. And it's when you're doing your acrylics and you're getting the texture in. So these are smooth and they're good for the thin, translucent layers with acrylic. We're talking about acrylic paint now. Thin, translucent layers. These are awesome for that. They're thin, not thin, they're soft. They're soft bristles. And I honestly cannot remember what type of bristle this is called. I don't remember. But Royal and Langnickel Princeton brushes are good. Do you use any Escada? I don't know what that is. Is that a type of paintbrush? Most of these you would have to get at an art store because they're professional grade, these, Silver Brights, and they're pricey. So always look for coupons. Always look for coupons. I've never used those, Andrea. You got me curious about them, though. Where do you find them? Um, this one has got a better, okay, this is better. So this one is silver, and it's BRISTLON. I think that's TLON, Bright. And I purchased these from an art supply store. That's good to know. I'll have to check them out because I'm always testing new brushes. Christy Rice with Da Vinci. Well, you could try them. I'm always trying new stuff. I always am. Yeah, always am. And ChatGPT. Another good one though is the Simply Simons. Those are good for the thin translucent layers also. And we were putting these in our kits, the Simply Simmons or Simons. All right, y'all, I gotta go. I didn't realize we were going so long, but thank y'all for hanging with me, hanging through this with me. The BOGO's in this weekend, and then next week we'll work on reevaluating what we have left, and we'll start putting mystery boxes together to try and finish clearing out inventory for the end of the year. And watch your emails, and we'll be sending out a date for our kickoff for next year. We have lots of good things, and let me know your special requests of what would you like for me to include in our projects for the new year. All right. All right. Thank y'all. Appreciate you and love you very much. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.